My CEO wife has fallen in love, and her partner is a little wolf dog. Nowadays, I have become super considerate. Not only do I avoid making things awkward for both of us, but I also gently encourage her to go on dates. She seems quite satisfied with this and even shows off to her girlfriends saying, "See, that's how it is. Who says only men can indulge in pleasures outside? Once tamed, they still behave obediently." She said her girlfriends had various expressions in their eyes, especially the one sitting in the corner, a wealthy lady from New York whose gaze was the most complex. After a wild night with her, she held a small whip and looked at me fiercely. "When are you going to marry me, huh? You don't want to admit it." I originally just wanted a divorce to reclaim my share of the property, but unexpectedly, my wife's actions completely unleashed the demon deep within me, and putting this demon back in its cage would come at a cost. Mary is in love again, and this time her partner is a freshly graduated young stud. Mary really likes him, and the young stud is particularly clingy, always acting a bit coy. On my birthday, Mary rarely came home, and this was probably the last bit of affection we had left between us. Just as the cake was about to be cut, the phone rang. Although she didn't intend to avoid me, she went to the balcony to answer the call. After all, there were some things I shouldn't hear, but I still caught the voice on the other end. "Are you going back to be with that old man?" the little wolf dog said in a spoiled tone. "I won't allow you to be with him. Your beauty can only be appreciated by me. I want to see you tonight." Hearing such words come from a man with 8-pack abs was truly awkward, but Mary was into this kind of thing and patiently comforted him. "Baby, he'll come right over to be with you as soon as I finish cutting the cake. You just wait and wash up nicely for me," Mary said. "I bought you the Earl watch you like, and he'll bring it to you in a bit." The two of them were affectionate for quite a while, and only after that did the little wolf dog's jealousy subside. But he didn't forget to add, "You can't have any intimate actions with him. He'll be jealous." Mary laughed so hard she nearly fell over. It seemed this little wolf dog really had her favor. "Okay, I promise I won't let him touch me at all. You can check later, is that all right?" I listened expressionlessly. It seemed that today's little wolf dogs were so brazen, and my wife truly still had her charm. After Mary finished the call, I pretended to kindly hand her the Earl watch on the table. "Don't get it wrong, or someone will get jealous, and then you'll have to coax them," I thought to myself. This watch must be a gift for the little wolf dog. I certainly don't have that kind of luck. She only paused for a moment, but there wasn't a hint of embarrassment on her face. Calmly, she took out another box from her bag, the green submarine watch. "I know you like it. This is your birthday gift." To get the gift wrong like that really shows how thoughtful she is. The little wolf dog's gift is worth $1 million, while the legitimate husband's gift is worth a whole 0. Less, that's impressive. "Thank you." I casually accepted it, not saying anything more. This gift was really good, green, and it matched me quite well. After all, it was all from her. Perhaps my reaction was too bland, and a hint of something unusual flashed in Mary's eyes. "George," she tugged at my sleeve, trying to snuggle into my arms. If it were before, I wouldn't have been able to resist this gesture at all, but today I pulled away. "Don't do that. Your dear assistant isn't allowed. Aren't you going to have him check later?" She paused for a moment, her eyes instantly dimming significantly. To cover up her guilt, she immediately switched to an angry expression, sitting on the sofa, staring at me with a blank face. "George, don't throw a tantrum. Those are just games. You are my husband." Huh, that sounds nice, but can playing games justify cheating on your husband? Besides, what need is there for a female CEO and a male assistant to play games? I had no interest in engaging with her, so I picked up my phone and sent a message to her little assistant. "Mary wants to spend the night with her husband. You can bring your gift tomorrow." Just a few minutes later, Mary's phone rang as I expected. Mary put on her high heels and went out to charm the little wolf dog. I let out a sigh. People always change. I used to put her first in everything I did, but now just looking at her makes me feel sick. Mary and I are married for love, but in the end, love was defeated by money. After the company went public, she began to lose herself. Perhaps she had always longed for this kind of life. It was just that she didn't have the means before. Over the years, the handsome male assistants around her have changed one after another, and I can't even keep track anymore. At first I was particularly angry and caused quite a stir with her. Perhaps my attitude was too strong, and it did have some effect. Although we had long been emotionally estranged, she still maintained a boundary physically, but she did not return to the family. The male assistant had only been here for a few days, and the two of them had already crossed that line. Faced with my questioning, Mary just looked at me coldly. "George, stop messing around," she said. "Some things have to be played along with. I know how to handle it, and you don't need to make a fuss. You will always be my husband, and I won't shortchange you a penny. Just pretend you don't know about this." Looking at the face that had accompanied me for 10 years, I smiled. "So, can I find a few little lovers too?" I asked. Mary bit her lip and scolded me. "George, if you dare to betray our marriage, I won't let you off." Look at that. The double standards are really smooth. However, I'm not the kind of person who can be threatened. Of course, I'm not as brainless as Mary, who falls into a love-struck daze at the sight of a man. From that day on, I completely let go. Interfering with who Mary dated, I chose to ignore her nonsense. I even kindly urged her to go on dates so she wouldn't pollute the air at home. She was quite satisfied with my change and boasted to her girlfriends, "See, isn't it just cheap? Who says only men can go out and play?" That day, her girlfriends looked at me with a strange meaning in their eyes because I, a private equity fund manager leading a well-known team on Wall Street, was someone their family companies all wanted to invite over. Doubling the company's profits is not a problem. In the past, I only had eyes for Mary and always kept a polite distance from her friends. But since our relationship had cracks, they always found opportunities to get close to me. You could say that all of Mary's girlfriends had basically flirted with me. If I wanted to, I could easily plant a vast prairie for Mary at any time. The only exception was the cool woman sitting in the corner of the table, the most favorite granddaughter of the Shin family in New York, named Lisa. After our wild night last night, she held a small whip and glared at me fiercely. "When are you going to marry me?" "H, you don't want to admit it, huh? I've done everything I promised you." That's right. Recently, Lisa has been particularly clingy and always loves to get jealous. I really don't know where this young lady, who can have the wind and the rain, gets such a big jealousy from. I opened my phone and Leah's sweet voice came through. "George, come out. I miss you." I didn't respond. A few seconds later, she sent me a photo showing her alluring long legs in black stockings and a beautiful abdominal line. This girl's pajamas are quite romantic. She dares to send me such photos. Does she still want to go to the office tomorrow? I'm not afraid of much, but I can't stand a woman's provocation. Same old place, the presidential suite of a 5-star hotel in New York, which is Leah's favorite. I waited at the door for quite a while, and there was no sound from inside. H. Someone must be angry. "Miss, if you don't open the door soon, I'm leaving." I wasn't interested in indulging her. As soon as I finished speaking, the door opened. A pair of delicate hands pulled me inside. Lisa looked grieved, still wearing the outfit from the photo, pouting. "George, I just wanted to celebrate your birthday. Why didn't you reply to my messages?" Looking at her cold yet beautiful face, my heart softened instantly. "I was at home just now. It wasn't convenient to reply to you." Her beautiful big eyes were filled with tears, full of grievance. "George, can you please divorce her?" I gently stroked her long hair, feeling a pang of heartache. "It's not the right time yet." She paused for a moment, tears about to spill. Why? I prepared everything you want. You can achieve your goals any time. If you don't divorce her, then what am I? I thought to myself, you are my little lover now. But I couldn't say that out loud. Lisa is the eldest daughter of the Shun family in New York, known for her fierce business acumen and tough tactics. But every time she comes to me, she acts like a wronged little woman, yet I happen to be fond of this. Of course, we are also a community of shared interests. She needs my operational skills and team, and I need the Shun family to help me reclaim what belongs to me. Don't worry, what I said counts. Otherwise, why would I come here? Just wait a little longer. I'm no longer the love-struck person I used to be. Mary owes me, and I will make sure to get it back double. Recently, Mary's company secured a major project worth a whopping $30 billion. At that time, the company's assets could double. But the cash flow would definitely face issues, which is a great opportunity for me to take charge. I want her to know that her smooth sailing over the years was because of me. That money is also what I deserve. After all, during her toughest times in starting her business, I was the one who accompanied her in the rental house eating bread. I was the one who brought in investment after investment, using my savings to fund her. Lisa still needs to be coaxed. This young lady is just into this kind of thing. Be good. I won't leave tonight. I'll follow your arrangements. She smiled, her icy, beautiful face breaking into a radiant smile that almost left me mesmerized. Well, I'm pretty, come from a good family, and love you so much. You have no reason not to choose me. How did I not notice before that this young lady is such a romantic? After saying that, she domineeringly pushed me down onto the sofa, showcasing her impressive curves. This is your birthday gift. Don't you want to unwrap it and take a look? Well, this young lady knows how to play. Faced with such a beautiful sight, my meager resistance had long vanished. I could probably understand the kind of joy Mary was pursuing. Wildflowers really do smell good, although the cost is a continuous decline in moral standards. This kind of pleasure is indeed hard to resist. However, such matters cannot be exposed for now. I'm not afraid, but this young lady cannot afford it, and I don't want to be dealt with by the Shun family. George, when are you going to marry me? Speak up, George. I really love you. What about you? Faced with her gaze, I momentarily didn't know how to respond. I gently stroked her cheek, feeling a bit guilty inside. Even though she knows the nature of our relationship, I did take advantage of her. They say it's hardest to bear the favor of a beauty. Perhaps being together wouldn't be so bad, but let's wait a bit longer. Right now, my mind is filled with thoughts of revenge. Maybe it won't be long before the young lady gets tired of me and leaves on her own, just like Mary, who once loved deeply but ended everything with betrayal. And with someone like her, a top-tier, rich second generation, who knows how much of what she says is true? If you believe everything, you're not far from being schemed against. The next day, I returned home, clutching my sore lower back, and to my surprise, Mary was actually at home. I checked the time. It was, indeed, this morning at this hour, she was not at the office. "Where did you go last night?" she asked. I had no desire to respond, so I casually replied, "I went out to celebrate a birthday. Is that a problem?" Mary shot me a glance, suddenly stood up, and walked a few steps towards me. Her gaze was icy, and her voice was filled with disbelief. "George, where did those hickeys on your neck come from?" That's when I remembered Lisa. That girl was too wild yesterday. "It's from playing games. Don't take it seriously." Mary glared at me fiercely and quickly noticed 2 more hickeys. She didn't believe what I had just said at all. How could playing games result in 3 hickeys, especially one in such a hidden spot under my shirt? She gritted her teeth and asked, "George, do you have someone else on the side? You dare betray our relationship?" "Who is she?" I pushed her away and went straight back to my room, completely ignoring the frantic Mary. Ever since she cheated, we had been sleeping in separate rooms. I couldn't help it. I had a mental cleanliness obsession. Mary had long lost the demeanor of a female CEO, and her crazy behavior was no different from that of a shrew. "George, how dare you betray our relationship? Tell me who she is. I want her to know the consequences of provoking me. You can only be my man." Listening to her yell and bang on the door, I was fed up and simply threw out a line. "It's Lisa. You can go find her." I knew very well that she wouldn't dare. After all, she had just established herself in high society, while Lisa came from a prominent family. It could be said that if Lisa just lifted a finger, Mary's company would go bankrupt. Lisa had also mentioned wanting to help me directly take down Mary's company, but I had refused. Upon hearing Lisa's name, Mary froze for a few seconds, then sneered, "George, if you're going to lie, at least make it believable. Who is Lisa to be interested in you? Get a grip on yourself. You're just a pawn with no real ability, and the only one who doesn't mind you. You'd better know your place." Hearing this, the knot in my heart loosened, though it still hurt. I had never understood why Mary cheated, but now I somewhat got it. It was contempt. She looked down on me from the bottom of her heart because she felt I was unworthy of her. She repeatedly challenged my bottom line. Love is indeed fragile. The betrayer bears no psychological burden. In fact, besides Lisa, Mary's group of close friends had also been trying to contact me. I carefully assessed them, and none of them met my requirements. After all, I'm out for revenge. I'm not the same as Mary. At the very least, I have some principles and won't act recklessly. As for Lisa, that was an unexpected turn, and I'd already made my intentions clear to her in advance. "Mary, let's get a divorce." I didn't want to face her any longer. The game was set, and I just wanted to be free as soon as possible. Mary was taken aback for a moment, then sarcastically replied, "George, you should know that without me you are nothing. Now kneel down and beg me, or I might actually agree to the divorce, and then you'll regret it." Mary was convinced that I was just using the threat of divorce against her, with the same intentions as before. But she didn't expect the slap in the face to come so quickly. Lisa shook the room card in her hand and invited me. The address was a newly opened 5-star hotel. "Someone gave it to me. I heard it's pretty good. Shall we go experience it?" I didn't expect this hotel to be quite famous. Mary and her little wolf dog also came. Of course, Mary wouldn't miss such a lively occasion. They entered room 886, and we followed right into room 888 with just a wall between us. I suspected Lisa did it on purpose. It felt quite thrilling to think about. As soon as we entered the room, I hugged Lisa and kissed her. "You're quite bold today. Aren't you afraid the neighbors will hear?" She blushed deeply from my teasing, her voice trembling a bit. "I'm not afraid. Didn't you say the soundproofing here is great? But how do you know so well? Have you been here with Lisa?" Her beautiful eyes lit up, and she wrapped her arms around my neck. "George, are you jealous? I love you so much. From now on, you can only be jealous for me. Don't worry. I will never do anything to betray you, not in the past and not in the future." An untimely phone rang, really ruining the mood. Lisa reluctantly let go of me, giving me a displeased glare with her dreamy eyes. She glanced at her phone, frowning slightly. It was Mary. Mary's angry voice came through the phone, and I could tell she was trying hard to suppress her emotions. "Open the door!" I didn't respond, and perhaps getting impatient, Mary's voice came again. "George, I have plenty of ways to make you open the door. Don't make this too ugly." Well, it seemed our earlier noise was a bit too loud, and Mary heard it. I knew her personality too well. Once she set her mind on something, she would be very persistent. Plus, making a scene wouldn't be good for Lisa, especially since she was with her little wolf dog, and I had my little lover living just a wall apart. This was a bit unfair to Lisa. "How about you hide for a bit?" I suggested to Lisa. Lisa was not happy about that, clinging tightly to me. "Am I that shameful? Besides, you two are getting divorced." I rubbed her little head. "Be good. The person outside hasn't completely exited yet. Making a fuss wouldn't be good for you. After all, you're still technically the little lover. Understand?" She still wasn't convinced, looking at me with tear-filled eyes. "She's with her little wolf dog. Why does she get to be so self-righteous while I have to be so wrong?" She wasn't wrong. Everyone was a betrayer, and no one was more noble than the other. However, Mary's little wolf dog was always self-righteous and dared to make a scene in front of me. This time, I indeed made Lisa feel wronged, so I gently kissed her red lips and comforted her softly. Keeping a bit of mystery is more thrilling, isn't it? As a result, this little girl got addicted to kissing, giving me several kisses in a row. Now that's more like it. Remember, she doesn't count for anything. From now on, you can only be mine. Lisa was satisfied, her beautiful eyes sparkling, the corners of her lips slightly raised, full of pride. The proud young lady finally obeyed and slowly walked into the dressing room that I opened the door to. Mary looked very pale, standing gloomily outside. "Where is he, that shameless one? Where is he?" Mary didn't see anyone and wanted to come in to look, but I blocked her at the door. "If you want to go crazy, go find your little wolf dog if you can. Why can't I?" She glanced at me with a complicated expression. Perhaps it was because I had loved her too much over the past 10 years, making her mistakenly believe that no matter how much she messed around, I would always forgive her and wait for her. Mary realized this time I wasn't joking, and she looked somewhat exasperated. "Fine. Let's see how long you can hide. I'm very familiar with the boss here. Just wait. I'm going to check the surveillance right now. George, I want to see who dares to steal my man." I shrugged and let her check. I wasn't afraid at all. Maybe after checking, she would agree to the divorce more readily. However, an awkward thing happened. While Mary was dialing, Lisa's phone rang on the sofa. The girl had forgotten to take her phone when she went into the dressing room. Mary looked at me suspiciously, then hung up the phone, and the ringtone from the phone on the sofa abruptly stopped. She dialed again, and the phone rang once more. At that moment, Mary's face looked as bad as if the company's stock had plummeted, dark with a hint of green. "Is it Lisa?" she asked. "Yes," I told her. "I told you a long time ago," I replied. "I really didn't expect that this hotel was actually a property under the Shin Group." The door to the cloakroom opened, and Lisa walked out calmly, sitting down on the sofa with confidence. The girl had changed her clothes, which was fine. I could enjoy such a beautiful view on my own. She crossed her legs, exuding a powerful aura. Her demeanor so natural, it was as if she were engaged in a business negotiation, completely unfazed, as if she hadn't been caught in the act. "No need to check the surveillance. I'm right here," Lisa said. Mary's lips moved, her gaze shifting back and forth between me and Lisa. In the end, she couldn't hold back and lunged at Lisa. Lisa didn't dodge, but I had already positioned myself in front of her, my eyes coldly fixed on Mary, making her a bit afraid. "Don't touch her. You're not worthy," I said coldly. My indifference hurt Mary deeply, and she lost the will to argue with Lisa. Mary clenched her fist and then relaxed it, finally just pulling me over and saying, "Let's go home. We can talk about anything." Lisa stood up abruptly and stepped in front of me. This was the first time I had seen this young lady, known in the business world as the Jade Fade Roasa, get angry. She radiated an aura that made people hesitant to approach her. "Don't touch George, you're not worthy," Lisa said. Mary was quite angry. She probably had never seen a mistress so arrogant. "Lisa, George is my husband. I don't want to pursue today's matter, but please don't interfere in my family affairs." Lisa wouldn't fall for that. She snorted coldly and said, "So what? That marriage certificate in your eyes probably doesn't hold much weight either. You can find a little wolf cub for fun, and he can naturally go on a date with me." Seeing the tension between the two women escalating, I quickly reassured Lisa. "Don't worry, you'll be fine. There are some things I need to discuss with her." Lisa then restrained her emotions and returned to her fragile appearance. Be careful. You are mine now, so don't do anything you shouldn't." Mary's face looked even worse, probably because she remembered what happened on my birthday. But to maintain her pride, she still forced herself to shout at Lisa, "Do our matters concern you? He is my husband. Don't you have any sense of propriety or shame?" Lisa just wanted to provoke her. "I've already become a mistress. What more sense of propriety and shame do I need? Besides, my role as a mistress is much more above board than your little wolf dog. At least we got together after you cheated." On the way back, Mary pressed the accelerator as if she wanted to shove it into the gearbox. I was really a bit scared. What if we couldn't get home? I definitely didn't want to die with Mary. That would be too unlucky. "Sister Mary, drive a little slower. You can take your time talking about things with your brother-in-law." The one speaking was Mary's little wolf dog, sitting in the passenger seat, looking like he was enjoying the show. When the commotion started earlier, this kid had hidden in his room, too scared to come out. Only after we emerged did he look at Mary with red eyes. Mary also lost her usual affection for him, hesitating for quite a while before deciding to take him along. "George, they'll drop him off at home first," Mary said. Mary seemed enchanted. Although she kept a cold face all the way, she was exchanging glances with the little wolf dog, and her intention was obvious. She wanted to make me jealous. She looked at me in the rearview mirror more often than she checked the traffic lights. But how could I be jealous? I had long stopped loving her, and seeing her with the little wolf dog only made me feel disgusted. Soon, the car stopped in front of a building. This was definitely the apartment that Mary bought for the little wolf dog. The spacious flat above was something the freshly graduated little wolf dog couldn't afford, and even renting would be difficult. "They'll take him upstairs first. There are some things I need to clarify with him." "Wait for me here," Mary said to me, her eyes filled with a hint of determination. I lit a cigarette without caring about the location. "It's fine. You've done what you needed to do anyway, so just go ahead." Mary was a bit angry and slammed the car door shut, not even mentioning that I was smoking in the car, something she usually hates. I was baffled. She wanted to be with a little wolf dog, and I supported her. So what was there for her to be angry about? The cigarette wasn't finished yet when the little assistant ran back. The excuse was that the Earl's watch was left in the car, but it felt more like a declaration of his non-existent sovereignty. "Why haven't you divorced yet? Afraid you won't have a place to live off a woman?" he said. "Well, it's true a useless operator like you wouldn't easily find a woman like Mary, who is both beautiful and wealthy, but Mary likes me. Now you have nothing but the empty title of husband." I looked at his childish face and smiled. Now I wouldn't show him any mercy. "What? You can't even support yourself, and you have the nerve to mock me? Since she likes you so much, why is she keeping you in the shadows? Don't worry, I'll have a word with her, make her understand, and get you a proper title soon. By the way, I have half of her family fortune because I'm her husband. What about you? I have the right to reclaim every penny she spends on you. Don't think you can get something for nothing just because you're young. Rich women aren't that easy to win over." His face turned pale in an instant. I directly closed the car window, ignoring him jumping up and down outside. Mary has a good eye for choosing cars. The soundproofing is really great. He's just a plaything for me, yet he really takes himself seriously. Although I no longer want Mary, I won't let him off easy. Maybe I can make him bear some debts in the future. An hour later, Mary sat on the living room sofa with a cold expression, her trembling hands revealing the panic within her. "George, when did you start seeing her?" she asked. I seriously recalled that it had indeed been a while. That time I was worried you hadn't eaten, so I brought you a heartfelt meal at the office, only to find you sitting on the little wolf dog's lap. I remember you said that after 10 years of dating and marriage, you were already tired of it. Mary's hands trembled uncontrollably, and a hint of panic finally appeared in her eyes. She would never know how much effort it took for me to suppress the anger inside when I walked out of her company that day. I had once loved Mary to the point of madness because she saved me during my darkest times. But this time, she had torn open the scars in my heart with her own hands, and almost the demons within me were completely unleashed. I could only save myself, let go of the illusions of love, and pursue the happiness of the present, even if it meant abandoning my moral boundaries to enjoy this thrilling life. But she must pay the price for her actions. From that day on, I began to make my plans. I assessed each of her close friends one by one, but none of them were quite right until I met Lisa. She completely met my requirements. Not only was she beautiful, but she was also very clingy. The key was that our goals aligned. She wanted Mary's company, and I wanted to get back the money that belonged to me. After a while, Mary spoke again. "George, you broke up with her, right? I swear I won't mess around outside anymore. Let's start over, okay?" Human nature really can't stand the test. My little lover is Lisa, the young lady of the Shun family in New York. Mary, this is the beginning of reevaluating my worth. She wanted to know why Lisa would be interested in me when I was wholeheartedly devoted to her. She thought I lacked romance when I silently gave without wanting to put too much pressure on her. She thought I was incapable, and what was the result? She felt I was dispensable, that I had to unconditionally endure whatever she did. I chuckled softly, my laughter filled with sarcasm. "Mary, it's been 10 years, and I'm tired of it too." I returned her words from back then, hoping she could handle it. Mary was stunned for a long time, her eyes a bit red. "George, even if you get divorced, do you think Lisa would marry you? What kind of background does she have? She only marries into high society. Besides, she probably doesn't know about your past." At that moment, the anger inside me could no longer be suppressed, and the demon desperately wanted to break free from its restraints. I didn't say a word, just coldly stared at Mary, my eyes probably already red. "Mary, I originally just wanted to reclaim what belonged to me, but now you have unleashed the demon and you must be prepared to face the consequences." Seeing my expression, Mary panicked, and a hint of regret appeared in her eyes. "I'm sorry, George. It was my mistake. Please don't get upset." Now I finally understand why she always seeks novelty outside. Besides enjoying the thrill, more importantly, she despises my past. "Do you also think I did that? Is that why you keep hurting me, George?" She panicked completely, wanting to hold me in the past. This gesture could calm me down instantly, but not anymore. "Get lost, Mary. You're just a selfish woman." I grabbed her by the neck, and she struggled to breathe. My fingers were bulging with strain, and if it weren't for a shred of reason, I would have wanted to strangle her. She was stunned, not expecting me to take action. No matter how outrageous her behavior had been in the past, I had never been willing to lift a finger against her. "George, how dare you hit me? Is it for Lisa? George, you better wake up. To Lisa, you're nothing but a pastime. How could you be so foolish? I can't stay in this house for another moment. If I do, I really don't know what I might do." "Mary, you were right. I'm such a fool. I'd rather be Lisa's sidekick than see you again. Hurry up and sign the divorce agreement." After saying that, I left the house. "George, come back to me," Mary shouted anxiously from behind. But I didn't look back, leaving her only the exhaust fumes of the car. After a long time, I sat alone in the car, trying several times before I finally lit the cigarette. I've been trying hard to forget that incident from years ago. Today, Mary's words were like a cruel knife, pulling me back into hell and releasing the pain that had been sealed within. Me for 10 years, my original family is a blended family, at least in my memory. My mother married a divorced man with a daughter, bringing me along. That daughter is 3 months older than me, so she is considered my sister. Not long after the marriage, my mother had another son. From then on, my sister and I lived a life without anyone caring for us, and we didn't get along with each other either. When I was 16, my sister was out fooling around and got pregnant. When our stepfather found out, his face turned terrifyingly dark, and he kept questioning her. She got scared and falsely accused me of it. I would never admit to something I didn't do. I cast a pleading glance at my mother. "Mom, you know me. I didn't do it. This is slander," I said. But Mom only cared about comforting my little brother in her arms, not even glancing at me. Her tone filled with disgust. She said, "Who else could it be? Is everyone slandering you? Hurry up and admit your mistake. Your uncle won't make it too difficult for you." I looked at her in despair, my mouth full of bitterness. Yes, in her heart I had long lost my place. Only her stepfather's family mattered, and it didn't matter if they slandered me. She didn't believe anything I said, even though she might know the truth deep down. That night, my stepfather beat me mercilessly with dozens of lashes. And I knelt outside in a freezing temperature of -10 degrees, wearing only thin clothes for the entire night. At that time, my heart was filled with despair. In the following year, my stepfather would either hit or scold me, and the reason was always the same. Once, he beat me until I passed out. When I woke up, my eyes were red, and I was still holding a dagger that had been prepared long ago. It was Mary who saved me. She had seen me in my most helpless and knew how much this mattered to me. Her frail embrace warmed my heart, which was shrouded in darkness. "George, don't be afraid. I know everything. Don't worry. I believe in you." Yes, she knows. She knows that it was me who did that. Undeniably, she was once a light in my life, pulling me out of hell. It was also that day that I decided to leave home for good. No matter how much my mother pleaded, I remained unmoved. "I want to go back and just be a tool for you to please them. From now on, I'll consider myself an orphan. I am that stubborn. Once I make up my mind, I never look back." But I still underestimated my mother's malice towards me. She tried to destroy me just to solidify her position in my stepfather's house. She stopped Mary at the school gate. "No one knows my son's character better than I do," she said to Mary with a cold smile. "What you see is all an act. He's one way at school and another at home. How could I slander him?" Mom's words were like a seed, planting a seed of doubt in Mary's heart, just waiting for the right moment. This seed would take root and sprout. I once explained to Mary, "Your sister's boyfriend is also your classmate. You should know this." She just gently hugged me and responded. It wasn't until today that I realized she had never believed me, not even once. I booked a room at the hotel and took a cold shower to calm myself down. Once I regained my composure, I picked up my phone and sent a message. "Let's get a divorce. There's no need to hurt each other anymore." There was no response from the other side of the screen for a long time. Just as I had downed half a bottle of white liquor and was feeling drowsy, my phone screen lit up with a message from Lisa. "I heard you had a fight. It's not because of me, is it? All right, don't be angry. I support your divorce. Tomorrow is a good day, perfect for getting divorced. Do you need my help?" This young lady is quite proactive in advising people to get divorced, which is rather interesting. Before I could respond, Lisa's call came in. "George, I miss you." Her voice was full of grievance. "Here we go again. Young lady, I'm really tired, but this young lady wouldn't let me off the hook, dragging me into a conversation that lasted over an hour. I guess she found it boring herself. "I'm wearing your favorite outfit. Want to see?" I couldn't help but laugh at her thought process. "Sure, but I only want to see the real thing. If you show up in front of me within 5 minutes, it'll do. Whatever you say today. Want to play with me?" No problem. In-game, Lisa's villa is in the north of the city, while I am in the downtown area. Even without traffic, it would take her at least half an hour to get here. 3 minutes later, I heard a knock on the door along with Lisa's charming voice. "I'm here in your mind today." My heart tightened suddenly as I opened the door, and Lisa was indeed standing outside. "Lisa, you're not going to stay here all night, are you?" She shot me a glare. "Are you concerned about me? I heard you had a fight, so I came over on purpose. The timing is just right. I just want to be with you when you need it the most." A warm current surged in my heart as I held her tightly, unwilling to let go for a long time. "George, let's get a divorce and then marry me." Her beautiful eyes were filled with anticipation. I can see the sincerity in her eyes, but as Mary said, we might not have a future. "Lisa, the Shin family won't accept me. As we discussed before, he'll get the money, you get the company, and in the future, you'll lead the team to serve the Shin group." Fueled by the alcohol, I spoke my mind. Lisa's eyes flickered slightly as she avoided my gaze. I understood I had hit the mark. Perhaps she wasn't confident about persuading her family to accept me. "George, give me some time. Just wait to marry me." I smiled and playfully scratched my head. "Sure, I know. All right. Once you sort things out, I will definitely marry you. After all, I wasn't losing out. Who would refuse such a stunning beauty throwing herself at me?" The next morning, Mary called me to arrange a talk. When I got home, I was surprised to find her cooking. If I remembered correctly, she hadn't stepped into the kitchen for at least 5 years. She had a flattering smile on her face. "George, I made your favorite dishes. Sit down for a bit. You'll be able to—" Eat soon, Mary signed a divorce agreement. I got straight to the point. "George, just wait a little longer. The food will be ready soon and it's all your favorites. Mary, I'm not eating. Sign the divorce agreement. George, I want to divorce you. There's a misunderstanding between us. Let's eat and talk." Did she really think I would fall for that? After hurting me so deeply, she thought a meal could win me back. I looked at her face. It was extremely pale, probably because she hadn't slept well last night. "George, I thought about it a lot last night. It was my fault. Please give me another chance." I didn't respond. Even though we both stayed up late, the difference between people is striking. Lisa also didn't sleep well last night, but she was still full of energy this morning. I could barely get out of bed. I have to say, when I'm with Lisa, I feel an indescribable calmness. She seems like a remedy that can dispel the gloom in my heart. But right now, the important matter is at hand, and I can't let these emotions affect me. Mary did not refute my sarcasm and continued to busy herself in the kitchen. Soon, the dining table was filled with 4 dishes and a soup. It had indeed been a long time since Mary had cooked, and the presentation of the dishes was not great, but they smelled decent. "George, these are all your favorites. Let's eat and talk." She seems somewhat humble now, but this was all self-inflicted. "Just sign the divorce agreement. There's no point in dragging this out. I want to eat." Mary's eyes dimmed. "I've worked on this for a long time. Just take a bite." As she spoke, she raised her hand to show me, "Look, I've burned myself." I felt not a shred of sympathy. Not to mention, just a burn. Even if she were to get burned more severely now, I wouldn't soften. "Mary, from the moment you said those words, we could never go back to the way things were. You'd better sign the divorce agreement. I don't want anything to do with you anymore." "George," the only response to her was the sound of me leaving. In the following week, Mary went all out to please me. No matter how I showed my displeasure, she didn't get angry. It was as if we had returned to the time when we first met, when I was all prickly and she was incredibly gentle. She brought expensive gifts every day and even prepared heartfelt meals to deliver to my studio. But the outcome was certain. I refused the gifts and returned the meals. One day, Her best friend called me and said that Mary was drunk and insisting on finding me. I originally didn't want to pay any attention, but thinking about the divorce agreement that hadn't been signed yet, I reluctantly returned to that former home. When I got home, I saw Mary sprawled on the sofa, her eyes hazy with drunkenness as she called my name. "George, George, you finally came back. Mary has been mumbling your name, insisting on finding you," her friend said. I politely sent those people away and then sat on the sofa, deliberately keeping my distance from Mary. "Stop pretending you're not drunk," I said. Mary immediately sat up, and there was no trace of drunkenness on her face. "George, you really understand me. I was wrong before. Can you forgive me this once? I promise I will never make the same mistake again and will treat you wholeheartedly." If she hadn't brought up those hurtful words from before, I might have considered forgiving her, but that barrier has always been in my heart. The thorns planted in my heart had already taken root and sprouted. How could I act as if nothing had happened? "Mary, we should have ended this a long time ago. I always thought you were my salvation, which is why I held on until now. But you are not. You were the one who has hurt me the most." She bit her lip, tears filling her eyes. "George, do you really like Lisa?" I looked at her and squeezed out the last words. "Mary, the issues between us have nothing to do with Lisa." I handed the divorce agreement to Mary again. She helplessly rubbed her forehead and asked, "Do you really have no lingering feelings at all?" I pointed to Lisa, who was standing behind me, and remained silent. Lisa was specifically there to supervise my divorce. Ever since the last incident, Lisa had become particularly excited. She knew that our divorce was only a matter of time. At that moment, she showed no restraint, typical of someone in another's home, elegantly crossing her long legs as she sat confidently on the sofa while her assistant thoughtfully handed her a cup of coffee. As Lisa sipped her coffee, she pointed at Mary and said, "Mary, hurry up and sign the agreement. Don't come bothering George again. If I'm in a good mood, I might even treat you to a meal. To let go of such a good man and choose that useless little wolf dog instead? Your taste is really great." As she said this, Lisa's eyes sparkled, and the corners of her mouth edged almost to her eyes, feeling immensely proud inside. If it weren't for Mary's previous careless words, she wouldn't have so easily achieved her goal. Although Mary didn't dare to offend Lisa, she couldn't help but retort, "Are you really so eager to snatch someone else's husband, Miss Lisa? What happened to your pride?" Lisa took a sip of her coffee, her eyes narrowing slightly. "Of course I'm eager. Good men are hard to come by. If I don't seize the opportunity, how can I? Besides, bringing George back would be my proudest achievement." Mary trembled with anger. Today, she had witnessed Lisa's power, but she felt powerless to change anything. "George, since you're so heartless, I agree. I will sign the agreement, but if you regret it within a month, you can come back any time. This is our last chance." Suddenly, I felt a bit uneasy, but I couldn't figure out why. At that moment, a month later, I finally received the divorce certificate. At that moment, I felt a huge sense of relief. The carefully laid plans could finally be set in motion. I bought a bouquet of roses to give to Lisa, as she had been a great help to me lately, and it was only right to make her happy. Just as I reached the front door, an elderly figure rushed over. "George, Mama's been waiting for you for so long. How could you be so heartless? You haven't come home to see me in all these years." I looked at this woman, both familiar and strange, and took a few steps back. I couldn't bring myself to be physical, but being close was out of the question. "Your sister has completely fallen apart because of you. She hangs out with all sorts of unsavory people every day. Your brother was tricked into gambling and owes a lot of money to loan sharks. Now he's hiding everywhere to escape his debts." She kept talking incessantly. I ignored her rambling, suppressing the anger inside me. "Ma'am, I've already signed the inheritance waiver and severance agreement with you. Please do not disturb my life any further." This biological mother of mine widened her eyes. "You think just saying it's fine makes it fine? Let me tell you, that's your stepsister and biological brother. You have an obligation to help them." I looked at her coldly and asked, "Who gave you that address, Mary? Huh? You don't want such a wealthy wife and insist on getting a divorce. You really are sick." I lit a cigarette, trying to calm myself down. Perhaps my indifference angered her. Her expression gradually became sinister. "If you don't want to help, then pay a pawn million." I scoffed. "Ma'am, the inheritance waiver clearly states that I have already given you 5 million and severed all ties, which was also your request. Please leave immediately or I will do anything. You know I mean what I say." She looked into my cold eyes, realizing she wouldn't achieve her goal today, and left cursing. Just as she left, Lisa returned. Lisa looked at me gently, tightly nestled in my arms. She knew what I needed at that moment. "You know everything?" I asked. She nodded, her gaze steady on me. "George, those things are easy to find out. I know you didn't do it. They don't believe you, but I do." I held her tightly. I was so vulnerable and needed comfort. "Lisa, I have no family left now. Thank you for today." She affectionately nuzzled in my embrace. "No, you still have me. I will always be with you." But I still underestimated that woman's level of madness. On Monday, when I arrived at the studio, I saw her standing on the rooftop holding a megaphone, threatening to jump. There were no fewer than 300 people gathered below, all looking at me with strange expressions. "My son is the head of this private equity fund, George. He has been morally corrupt and a bad seed since childhood." I was standing below, the sunlight shining on me, but it couldn't dispel the chill in my heart. Without thinking, my eyes were definitely red, and my hand instinctively fumbled for the dagger I once used to protect myself. It had been too long, and I hadn't lost control in a long time. I had long forgotten where I had thrown the dagger. This woman gave me life, but allowed others to abuse me for over a decade, and now she was coming to slander me. When Lisa arrived, I finally found a harbor to rely on. I knelt on the ground and buried my head in her arms. She gently covered my ears and softly comforted me. "George, relax. This is not your fault. I will handle it." Then she had her assistant quickly manage the scene. This farce finally calmed down. "George, how do you plan to handle this?" Lisa asked. The familiar metallic taste of blood rose in my mouth, just like when I was 16. "I think she has serious mental issues and may pose a threat to others. I believe she should be hospitalized for long-term treatment." I didn't want to see her again. She had never given me love, and my ability to regularly pay for her psychiatric hospital fees was already more than enough kindness. I walked into Mary's office with a cold face, grabbed her by the neck, and slapped her hard twice. "Mary, you did all of this, didn't you?" This woman really didn't know when to quit. She wanted to use this incident to undermine me, hoping I would collapse and beg her. She knew my pain, knew how to hurt me the most, and also knew how to pretend to comfort me. Mary fell to the ground in a disheveled state, blood trickling from the corner of her mouth. "George, I didn't mean anything by it. I love you too much. I can't live without you. I just want you to know that only I can heal you. Come back. You can't live without me. You can punish me however you want. Please come back." I smiled and gently wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth with my thumb. "You should have thought about the consequences when you did this. The demon has already been unleashed by you, and there will be a price to pay, Mary. Be prepared." Just as I was about to leave, Lisa rushed in. She was worried I might lose control and do something irrational. Seeing that the situation was still under control, she breathed a sigh of relief. "You attacked George with the very thing he least wants to face. How despicable! You want to destroy him? Is this your way of loving him? That's really something. You're finished. I won't let you off the hook, Lisa said. Mary's eyes were filled with despair, becoming shattered. George, I was wrong. I just didn't want you to leave me. Once I couldn't stand seeing her like this. It would break my heart, and I would comfort her more anxious than she was herself. But that was all in the past. Mary, the path you chose is yours to bear the consequences. Mary's face instantly turned ashen, her eyes quickly dimming, losing all their light. I got in a car and said lightly, Miss, the plan can be set in motion. She nodded and drove towards the Shun Group building. For 3 whole days, my team and I had been in the office taking action against Mary's company. When I pulled back the curtains, it was already bright outside. George, the stock price of Mary's company has fallen below the issue price. The Shun Group has officially acquired Mary's company. The $150 million you deserve has been credited. I looked at Lisa, who had also not slept for 3 days and had been by my side. Just as I was about to gently embrace her, my phone rang. It was a video call from Mary. George answered. This should be the last time, Lisa said. I nodded and answered. In the video, Mary had long lost the elegance of a female CEO of a listed company, standing disheveled on the rooftop. George, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I admit that I never really believed you about that matter, but no matter what, I was the one who hurt you. I'm sorry. Everything today is my own doing. I looked at her. Memories of our 10 years flashing quickly in my mind, finally freezing on the moment she uttered those hurtful words. Mary, we are done. Completely done. I will never forgive you in this lifetime. Mary smiled a tragic smile. She closed her eyes and, after a long time, wiped away the tears that had flowed. I'm sorry. I went too far. You said that when the devil is released, it must pay the price in blood. Farewell, George. I have always loved you. After saying that, she threw down her phone and jumped off the building. As for that little wolf dog, the things Mary sent him were worth a total of $10 million, but most of the money was squandered away. Lisa arranged for a lawyer to sue him, and after selling all his valuable possessions, the little dog still owed me $3 million. Completely entangled in debt, I sat in the office for a long time, and the hatred in my heart seemed to fade gradually with Mary's departure. I shook my head and walked out of the office. Outside, a group of people stood, all prominent figures from the Shin family, with Leah's grandfather at the forefront, someone often seen in financial news. George, welcome to the Shin family. You won't regret this decision, the old man said, extending his hand to me. After shaking hands, he called Lisa, who had been hiding behind me, over. We won't interfere in young people's matters. Lisa no longer had the pride she displayed when she was with me. She became a bit shy. I took out the ring I had prepared long ago from my pocket and knelt on one knee. Miss Lisa, do I have the honor of being by your side forever? Lisa raised her head proudly before extending her hand. George, seeing how sincere you are, I'll reluctantly give you a chance. As time went by, our wedding was also put on the agenda. The Shin family held a grand and solemn wedding for us, inviting celebrities from all walks of life. At the wedding, Lisa wore a gorgeous wedding dress, so beautiful that it was hard to look away. I held her hand and, amidst the blessings of everyone, made a lifelong promise. After getting married, our life was sweet and happy. Lisa would still occasionally act cute, asking me to accompany her to various places for fun. Whenever I had the time, I would fulfill her wishes. We traveled to many places together, creating many wonderful memories. Once we were on vacation by the sea. In the evening, we walked hand in hand on the beach, watching the sunset slowly descend, painting the entire surface of the sea a golden hue. Lisa leaned on my shoulder and softly said, "George, thank you for appearing in my life and allowing me to feel true love." I held her hand tightly and replied, "I thank you too, Lisa. You helped me step out of the shadows of my past and gave me a new life." Days passed one by one, and we experienced many ups and downs together, but our feelings remained unchanged. I am very grateful to have met Lisa. She is like a beam of light shining into my dark world, allowing me to believe and love again, and helping me understand the beauty of life. The hardships of the past have become the stepping stones for my growth, and the happiness I have now is the best reward for my efforts. I will continue to walk with Lisa, creating more beautiful futures that belong to us.